Get out the door, I'll start. The title of my message this morning is Battle for the Freedom of Highs and Lows. You want to be free this morning from the highs and lows of life. And you want to be constant and just smooth sailing along like Moses was. You know, you look at Moses and what he did in the Old Testament, you see that this man, he was pretty steady. And everybody else was flying apart around him. If you look at his life and you see every time something would happen and people would come against him, they'd rise up. You look at people's lives today, I deal with people every day and I see the highs and lows of their life. And even my own struggles of staying on top, staying with the lows don't bother me. So I put this sermon together about all this, and I've come to a realization it's pretty simple how you can overcome all this in your own life. It really is. It's going to take a little bit of, this Christianity takes a little effort on your part. I have to tell you that. It's a free gift, but it's going to take a little effort on your own part. It's given to us through Christ, so we're going to get to that here in a minute. I'll get ahead of myself. But I want to start off with the biggest high and low in the Bible I know of, and that's Peter. Peter, man, he's like me. He can stick his foot in his mouth in a heartbeat and not even know he did it. And I'm the same way. And I look at Peter's life and I see what he does. It's really extraordinary. Here Peter is, Jesus walks up to the disciples and said, who do they people say that I am? And they look at him and they say, prophet and so on. Some say you're John the Baptist and all this. And then so Jesus looks at him and looks at these guys. And I'm going to ask you the same question this morning. Who do you think he is? Look at them, well, who do you think I am? Look at those disciples. Let's start spouting off different things. And little old Peter opens up his mouth and he says, you're the Son of God. You're the Christ. That's who you are. And Jesus goes, wow, man. He said, I'm glad that God revealed that because you didn't get that on your own. God had to reveal that, Peter. And all of a sudden, this man's going to get put up on high. He said, you're going to be the rock. I'm going to build my church. The gates of hell are not going to prevail against it. You're going to be the man, and the man, you're going to be the guy. You're it. God has chosen you. Okay, I'm chosen. I'm a man. He's standing up. I can see old Peter parking up, can't you? Here, Jesus just lifted him up and exalted him to the highest spot. And don't never think about this. These guys battled over who would be the best and the greatest. It was a big deal to them. And there Peter's been put up on high. And about 3 seconds later, he sticks his foot in his mouth. And he goes the lowest of the low. But why? See, here's the key to your own same life. What I'm about to read to you is the key to it all. And I'm going to read it to you right here what happens to him when he sticks his foot. And Jesus begins to tell him all the suffering he's going to do, right? I must suffer. And I tell you, the ways of God may not be pleasant. May not be always the best for your life, or it maybe could require suffering. Many people died and suffered that you might be free to sit here this morning. So freedom requires suffering sometimes. To be free sometimes requires a struggle sometimes, and hardship. Understand this, that God's ways aren't your ways, and the way we think sometimes. It may require hardship. It may require difficulty. And Jesus is telling them all the things I'm about to suffer that you might be free. The pain and the suffering I'm going to go through, this is God's ordained plan. Peter doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. This might require suffering in my life. And this is what he says. And he turns around. Peter goes, no, not you, Lord. Jesus turns around and this is what his exact words are. He turned and said to him, Peter, get behind me, Satan. You are an offense to me. For you're not mindful of the things of God, but the things of man. Right there's your problem. You're not mindful of the things of God, but you're concerned about the things of man, and that's what shuts you down. If you're mindful of the things of God, you're going to be up here a little bit higher. And this is what I go back to Moses. I said something about him a while ago, and it says in Psalms 103 says this, here's the key to Moses. He made known his ways to Moses and his acts to the children of Israel. I tell you, you know Jesus' acts, but you don't know his ways. And there's your problem. You see, he made his ways known to Moses, who he was and how he operated, but they saw the acts. They saw the plagues. They saw the Red Sea part. They saw the manna from heaven. They saw the water from the rock. They saw the acts of God, but Moses knew the ways of God. That's why he was steady. And this is why they were for our healing. He died upon that cross so we might be saved. He rose again. That's all the acts. But what about his ways? Are you mindful of God's ways, or you just accept the acts and you go on and your life goes up this? Because Jesus said, my way is this. He said, if they slap you, turn the other cheek. They spitefully use you, pray for them. He said, he looked at the disciples and said, this is the one commandment, I give you to love one another. His ways were totally different than man's ways, because man said, I want to get even. Man, when I was a kid, I was mean. I lived on the Air Force base, boy. I'll tell you, now you did something to me, I got even. I mean, my cousins and stuff they got a rude awakening when I come out of the military, because when I fought for my lunch money in the military, I wanted to go to school. You want to get the bill with your money, you had to whip somebody. A lot of times. I mean, that's how life was. You used to take broom handles, belts, whatever you could with you. You fought. It was rough. That's the way you give me, I'll get you back. I lived that way through all high school. I got the bluffing on real quick. I went to a small school called Wilson, Oklahoma. I ended up there about the 4th grade. I had the biggest, baddest cousin. He was my height. I was a big kid for my age. He was too. We were on the playground. He was the biggest, baddest one in the school. He started messing with me, and I just laid him out. He pushed me. Kids pushing on each other. I didn't fight like that. I went whop. We went down. He gets up and runs screaming in the principal's office. From there on, I didn't have to fight against them. I was a senior in high school. That was it. I mean, everybody's scared to death of me after that. I went to school. But I didn't tolerate it. See, that's man's ways. That might be your way. That's totally opposite of what Jesus said to live. And your struggle is because you might be living in a way that God is contrary to what God says. You might be minding what man says and be mindful of what man would have you do instead of what God would have you do. And that may be your biggest struggle. And maybe it just comes to that real quickly, that you're not free from everything because you're minding after what man thinks, not what God says. Well, Peter had known that he was the Son of God, but he didn't know Jesus' ways yet. He didn't know that the suffering that might take place. And I'm going to tell you something. I went through great suffering before I got saved. I'm glad God put me through that suffering. Because that suffering, every time I go through something, even today, it always brings something up. If I'm going through something, I realize at the end of what I go through, if I hang on, I'm going to be a better person for it. And something's going to come out of my heart and out of my life that God doesn't want there. It might require a little bit of hardship, a little bit of suffering on my part. And I know God's ways, and I know it's going to be okay when I come out the other side. See, because I know He loves me, He's with me, and I trust in Him. My hope's in Him. It's not in man. Somebody said something, I don't know, go there. I get myself in trouble. I keep getting this thing recorded. Somebody might listen to it, I might get myself in trouble, so I kind of watch it. But Jesus' acts of love. That's what it was. He did everything in love, and He told us, this is what I want you to do. And He laid down an example. He said, I'll lay my life down for you, and I'll lay your life down for others. The ways of Jesus is to lay your life down for others for yourself. Wow. What a way to live. Contrary to what the world says to live, isn't it? Isaiah put it this way, 55, he says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor my ways your ways, says the Lord. I don't think like God, and my ways aren't God's ways. My ways are Sammy's ways. And your ways are your ways. You like it the way you want it. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you order a hamburger, or you order your food, you just tell them exactly, I don't want no pickles or onions on my hamburger. I don't want mustard, I don't want mayonnaise, I want it my way. That's the society we live in. I don't even want church my way. That's why we got them all over the place, because I don't like that music, I don't like this, I want it my way. And matter of fact, you'll even get people try to get you to do it their way. As a pastor. Let's do it this way, let's do it that way. I got the microphone, we'll do it my way. No, we're going to try to do it God's way. It's a better thought. It's not my way, it's God's way. It's because God leads me and leads us as a board and your people to try to do it His way and try to create an atmosphere where God can move and lives can change. See, that's what it's all about. It's not about if you like the hamburger this way or that way. It's about can we get an atmosphere going, and can we create a church body that God can use to set people free and change lives. See, that's why I preach. preach to entertain you. I preach to hope so somebody will be sitting here needing something from God, and God will give you the right word to say, and it'll change your life, and they can go on and live a better life. Because Jesus planned it that way. He didn't plan you to live where you're at. So Jesus is teaching. And this is what happens to us. Much of us, he's teaching the things that are contrary to what man believes, and his teaching that are going out. And the disciples just right on the top of their head. They just miss it. Let me tell you something. Some of this teaching, you read that Bible and you go, right over here. You're not getting it. Don't feel bad. They was with him for 3 years and they still didn't get it. I mean, really, guys, don't feel bad. I don't get all this. I don't understand. Don't feel bad. Don't feel stupid, because these guys are sitting here being taught every day and they're still blowing right on the top of their head. And I'll show you scripture what happens there. In Mark 8, let's read on down, 13. This is an interesting piece of scripture, because it took years for me to get it. Okay, I'll go with that. And he left them, getting into the boat again, departing to the other side. Okay, Jesus leaves a bunch of people, he jumps in the boat with the disciples and going to the other side. Here's the guys, here's what they do. Now those disciples forgot. Believe this, they forgot something. You forgive your husband, guys, ladies, when he forgets, okay? They forgot to take bread. And they did not have more than one loaf with them in the boat. All they got is one loaf of bread in the boat, and here we all got these 12 guys, and maybe had other people in there with them. And Jesus in the boat. We got one loaf of bread. We're all hungry. We've been teaching and preaching all day long. We got all these multitudes. I'm hungry for food. So Jesus is going to use them for a teaching moment. And they don't get it. Read on down what it says here. And he charged them, saying, "Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod." This is what they say. And they responded among themselves, saying, "It is because we have no bread," he said then. "We don't get this." And they don't understand it at all. We got no bread. We forgot the bread. And he's teaching us about leaven. Because leaven's in bread. And he said, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees." Let me reveal this to you, because this is exactly what you need to be aware of yourself. And this is exactly the things that are happening in the church today. And then Jesus warns them of it. And I'm going to warn you of it this morning. He says, the leaven. What is leaven? Leaven is what goes inside the bread that makes it rise. It affects the whole bread. It ends up migrating throughout the whole thing and reproducing. It ends up affecting the whole loaf. Without it, the bread would be flat and would stale. But you put leaven in it, which is yeast, and that bread, it'll just multiply and begin to grow, and it affects the whole thing. And pretty soon, it consumes the whole bread and is part of it. So he's saying here, beloved, there's two leavens you need to be aware of, and that's the Pharisees. Because what they're doing, they're teaching, but they're inserting their leaven inside of it that's corrupting their teaching, and you're going to need to be aware of it, because it's contrary to God and this man's ways. What do you mean, Pastor? Let me give you an example. Here we got, he said Herod also. I'll use both of them. We're going to go teach you what I'm saying. Here's Herod. Herod down here says, beware of his politics. Beware of what he says and Herod does, and he says it's okay for the Jews. Beware of his leaven, because it's going to end up affecting the church. That's what he's saying. And I tell you right now, beware of the leaven of this country, the politics, the religion, because what has happened is the leaven of the politics and society is migrated inside and affecting the church. It's growing through the whole thing, and it's destroying it. What do you mean, Pastor? We have whole denominations accepting sin is okay. We have whole denominations allowing homosexuality to come in and infiltrate all the way through the church and be accepted. And morality to be accepted throughout the whole church. And that's the leaven. And our politics says it's okay. The leaven of our politics, the leaven of Herod, is saying you need to accept this, because if you don't, you're a hateful crew. You hate crime. They put pressure on you to accept their leaven as being sin being acceptable. He warned them of this way back then, and they're not getting it. And I don't think half the Christian world gets it today, because the pressures of man out there worrying about the things of man and not the ways of God is bringing it into their life, and they're accepting it. The very thing that he warns them of. The very thing that he says, you mind the things of man, Peter. Well, let me tell you, if you're worried about what the pressures outside and what man says is okay and not okay, in the end times, even the elect will be fooled. Why? Because they fall to the pressures of man and not the ways of God. If it's contrary to the Word of God, it's wrong. I don't care what law the government puts down. I don't care what somebody says to you. If it's contrary to what's in this Bible, and God says no, it means no. It hasn't changed. And He did it for a purpose, and He did it for a reason. The man might live a more abundant life. The man might live a life that, let me tell you something, most of the diseases we got because of sin. I'll just be blunt with you. We didn't have sexual immorality. We didn't have sexual perversion. We didn't have sex before marriage. We didn't have all that going on. Most of the diseases and cancers today you will not see. Let's be truthful with you. Sin brings death. And it's what ends up killing you too, because you sin. Simple. If we did not have those things, and God laid those things out, why? Because He wanted man to live a good life. He didn't want sickness and disease to overtake somebody and destroy their life, but He wanted to live a good one. We take these rules and regulations out, and we look at them as being a hindrance to, because I'm not free. We're going to go into freedom here in a moment. You see, society dictates what they think is freedom. We live in a great country. We live in a country that is free. We really do. We're blessed people. God has put you here in this time and gave you this land. We have people that suffered and died and still going. We have one, Andy, you're up there in Afghanistan right now. Our life on the line. While we might be sitting here, we might be free to worship God in truth and the Spirit the way we want to. Yes. Freedom. A man has taken this freedom and said, this freedom is I can do whatever I want to do. I can live every way I want to live. They take it to an extreme. They burn the American flag. Stomp on it. What else do they do? They take their freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, they'll blast everybody and tear everybody apart with their tongue. Say whatever they want to. They call pornography, and that is an art form. It just destroys lives and families. Destroys the souls of men and women. It's art form. It's freedom. But Jesus didn't intend us to be that kind of free. Not at all. His freedom is totally different. His freedom is a spiritual freedom that I don't find many people have today. It's a freedom within our heart and our soul, and a freedom in our heart and not even be attached to this world. That's what that song, I asked Tracy to sing that song because it goes along with this message. If you're not ready to ride, you're still hanging on to this place. You're not free. There's something here hanging on to you, and you still want to hang around this place. Let me tell you something. I want out of here. I want to fulfill what God's got me called to do in this life and affect everybody I can. I want to fulfill my course and run my race, but when it's over, I'm ready. Paul knew his was over, and he said he ran to the execution block. The only reason why they cut Paul's head off is because he was a Roman citizen. Or they crucified him. How many people know Peter was crucified in Rome upside down? He wouldn't go the same way as the Lord did. Look, these guys suffered much hardship, much difficulty. I want you to understand that. These men suffered all the way to death. All the John. All these men suffered prison, shipwreck, hardships to be a Christian. And we think a little bit goes wrong in our life, and I'm just going to surrender. Why would God allow this to happen to me? Just throw God down and walk off. We're not understanding that hardship that God may brought your way is for a purpose and a plan for you. You're not understanding God's ways. He might be taking something out of your life or redirecting your life in the direction it needs to go. You might have lost that job because God knew what that job was going to do to you later on down the line. And He's got something different for you to be, another place for you to be. You're sitting here this morning because God's directed you to be here to hear this message because your life is just going like this. I'm tired of it. Turn it up and down. I want to live life. God intended me to live it. So Mark reads it this way after Jesus teaches that about the freedom, the battle for freedom. So what is freedom? I ask you that question. What is it? Do what you want to? No. It's not to do what you want to. It's a spiritual freedom. It's a liberty we have in the Spirit of God. The liberty is this. Spiritual liberty, I'm going to read it to you because I don't want to get it wrong. Spiritual liberty is not freedom to sin, but freedom not to sin. I'll say that again. When you're free from sin, and you have the liberty not to. You see, some people are held to sin. Pornography, drugs, alcohol, whatever it might be, gambling, whatever it might have got a hold of their life and is destroying their life, whatever it might be going on, they're not free from it. It drives them, it pushes them, it gets them up in the morning to do it, and it drives them into doing that sin, trying to destroy their life, and that means they're not free. But when you're free, you can look at it and say, I choose not to do it, and walk right by it. You make a choice. And then little devil's going to come along, whatever that sin God set you free, and try to put it back in your life, because I got you once, I might get you again. He's going to come back and tempt you with that very thing that he had you before. But when you're free, you can walk by and look at it and say, no, not today. I'm free. That's spiritual liberty. That's the liberty God intended you to have. That's the freedom God had for all of us. That we not be overtaken by it, but we can stand and walk over the top of it. That it not take control of my life, but I'm in control of it. You see, there's nothing you have to worry about. No sin can overtake you that you won't let it overtake you. And you keep pumping certain things in your eyeballs, guys, you're going to deal with some pretty good temptations. It might get a hold of your mind and overtake you. That's right. Ladies, you entertain how horrible your husband is. And man, and you keep looking over at the fence and the grass is greener than this guy over here. Let me tell you something, the same problem is going to be with that guy as with your husband, because the problem is with you. I watch that happen. Watch people get divorces and look at it and they go and do it again, the same thing. Well, the problem is with you to begin with, because you can't be satisfied where you're at. It's all about you. Somewhere along the line, you haven't given up on you, and you haven't laid your life down for it to share with another. Get pre-marriage counseling, by the way. You haven't laid your life down to each other. My life is yours. When we get married in this place, and when I marry people, I tell them, I look at you, and I'll tell you, your life is no longer yours, but you're living for them. You're living for them. They're living for you. All of a sudden, that's freedom. But when you get selfish and you get self-centered and life becomes about you, you're going to go down, and that's when you're going to go into sin. That's when you're going to go into things the devil sees coming at you, because all of a sudden it's about me. I want to be satisfied. I want to be happy. The actuality is, you know how to be happy is to make someone else happy. I can get you to smile. I'm happy. My mother said the other day, I saw a lot of you wasn't here for Mother's Day, but she looked at me the other day and she asked me if I was happy. I said, yeah, Mom, I'm happy. She said, that's all that matters to me, that you're happy. It's a woman with Alzheimer's. She's got more wisdom than most people I know. Man, she said some things the other day that was unbelievable. I thought, gosh, where's this coming from? Unbelievable. Freedom. Paul writes it, and Paul began to teach to these group of people from Athens. Now, Athens people were really interesting because they worship everything. I've seen people like this, and they'll have a crucifix on, they'll have a Jewish star on, they'll have all the stuff gathered up in their life, they'll be trying everything. They're going to make sure they cover the bases, because they're not really sure who the one that's going to give them heaven is. So they want to cover all the bases. They want to make sure they got it all covered. Have you ever met anybody like that? I've met a few of them like that. And this is the way the Athens people were. The Athens people, they had every town a temple for every god you can imagine. They had them all scattered around. And Paul's walking through there looking at all these temples in Athens, and he's seeing all these great temples to all these different gods, and he's watching these men stand up there, and they're talking amongst themselves, and they're about what's God, and they're asking about the new thing of the day, and all of a sudden Paul runs across this one that says, it's temple to the unknown God. Paul looks at it and says, boy, this is an opportunity. Yeah, unknown God, I got him. I know him. And he goes to these people and he stands with all these great philosophers and all these great men of all these great religions, and he begins to teach them. I want to read to you what Paul taught them, because it's so beautiful. I want you to get who God is and how he's with you. I want you to, if you don't understand God, Paul explains it here in a beautiful manner. And I want to share this with you this morning, because some of you are sitting here a little bit confused. You're doing this, doing Christianity, and you just really ain't got all this figured out. So I'm going to read what Paul says here, because he's teaching people that have no idea who God is. And here's what he starts off in 24. This is the God he proclaims to them. God who made the world and everything in it, since he is the Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in temple made with hands. Paul begins to crush right there their whole philosophy. All these temples, all these gods they've created, all these wonderful places and these things that they've created and they worship. He said, the God I serve doesn't dwell there. He's not in these temples made with hands. He's the one that created everything. Wow, that would be a slap, wouldn't it? That's who you were. And he's doing this. Who's talking to? Read on down. Nor is he worshipped with man's hands as though he needs anything. I love that. Paul says, hey, he don't need anything, guys. He don't need your worship. That's what he's saying. As though he needs anything, he says, since he gives to all life, breath, and all things. Wow, that's just beautiful. I get that in my heart, and it stirs my heart. He said, he gives us all life, breath, and all things. Can I tell you, you've got what you've got because God gave it to you? Can I tell you, you're breathing this morning because God's letting you breathe? Can I tell you that's who you're serving this morning? That's Him? Yes. And He gets on down in here and it even gets better than me. Let's go on down here and just what He says about it. And He has made everyone blood, every nation of man. Now, some of you that are a little bit prejudiced, this blows you away because you're all made of one man, one blood, as Adam and Eve, to dwell on all the face of the earth, and has determined in a pre-appointed time the boundaries of their dwelling. So if you live here in the United States, in this country, at this time, because God appointed you to be here at this moment. That's what He's saying. He set up every country at the proper time, and then there's a reason why. It gets real interesting. I'm going to say the reason why He's done it this way. Read on down. So that they would seek the Lord in the hopes that they might, what? Grope, mine says, for Him and find Him, though He is not far from each of us. For in Him we live, we move, we have our being. As also some of your poets have said, for we are also His offspring. What a beautiful piece of scripture. He says in here, he said, hopes, He's put you here that you might grope or you might feel around, that you might find Him. He's got a hope that he'll get you to a place where you'll reach out and you'll try to get a hold of Him and get a hold of Him in your life. Somewhere along the line you'll grope for Him. In other words, you're blind. Picture yourself as blind because that's what you are. You can't see the spiritual realm. You can't see it, but you're groping around. You're trying to feel for God. I just need something. You're walking through this life in the darkness, weren't you? Total blindness. Sin, well, blind is called darkness, isn't it? We walk around in darkness, groping around, looking for the light, and all of a sudden we grope around and we get a hold of it, we get a hold of the light beam, and all of a sudden we can see a little bit clearer. Understand a little bit more. And the more we grope and the more we go after Him, the more we understand and the more we get of God. See, it requires a little work on your part of going after Him and groping and crawling for Him. If you have to, crawl for Him. Get on your hands and knees on your face and crawl after Him if you have to. It's worth finding Him. Yes. It's worth it. Yes. Because He gives you all, He breathes in you. And the neatest part about it, He says He's moving all around you all the time anyway. Yes. But boy, I look at those people and I said, He's all around us right now. Imagine the people are going, I can picture it now. They're looking around and going, what, this God you're talking about, He doesn't, well, He's not that stone we made up there. That sacrifice we give to that, He's not Him. It's not the image of what He is. But He's all around us. Trying to explain the spiritual aspect of who He is. He's a mighty God. We find Him. How many of y'all found the Lord this morning? Here, you said they're groping for Him, and I know Him. Not far from us. You have your life and your breath in Him. Church, is God's ways, not your ways. It's not this country's laws, it's not this country's ways. It's God's ways. If you want your life to quit being up and down, start living in God's way. You want the struggles to cease and your God's way, but when a hardship, when you're going after God and you're trusting Him with all your life like Jerry does, and a hardship comes after you, God's got a plan for you to come out the other side of it. Jerry will be the better man when he comes out the other side. Worst thing that happened to Jerry is he goes to heaven and he rides back down with God. That's a horrible thing, ain't it? You go to heaven, it would just be awful. What about y'all? It sounds pretty good to me. And I think, God's not done with Jerry what he wouldn't have told him what he told him. 2 Corinthians says this, 6. I'll read this with you. I will dwell in them. I will walk among them. What do you feel this morning? He dwells in us and He walks among us. The Spirit of God dwells inside of you. Don't you know you're the temple of the Holy Ghost? I'll be their God, and they shall be my people. Come out from among them and be separate, saith the Lord. Do not touch the unclean thing. I will receive you. I will be your Father, and you shall be my sons and my daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. I love that good Father song Tracy sang this morning and start off with, because that's what it is. And He's my Father. And I am His child. And I view myself as that. I view myself as a humble little child that's groping around in the dark, looking for Him is all I can get. And I know He's with me. I know He's there. I know He protects me. When I fall down, I know He picks me up. I know He's with me the whole time. And as I'm going through this life thinking I'm somebody or something, I realize that, no, I'm just a little kid. Just a child of the Father. And I'm nothing. Without Him, I'm going to fall. I'm going to make a mess out of everything. And in Him and with Him, I can do all things. But if I'm doing it for Him, not me. You see, if Pastor Sam's preaching to himself or preaching to be somebody, it comes out to nothing. But if I'm preaching to the Lord, and I'm preaching for His kingdom, that His kingdom might grow and that your lives might change, and it's all about Him, I want to see God move. Because it is. It's all about Him. Everything He's called you to do, and every place He's put you, and everybody you come in contact with, you're responsible for how you handle those people and what you put across to them, because God's given you that opportunity to share life with them. He really has. But everybody I come in contact with, Tracy tells you, I can talk to any stranger anytime, anywhere. She kind of hates it sometimes because we're in a hurry, and I'm just going to stop and talk to that person. I love talking to people. Not because I might get the door open somewhere and I might be able to share something they're planting seed in their heart. And I love to do that. It's all about Him. How many of you have been minding man's ways, struggling with it this morning? And you look at the news. I was talking to a lady. She's homebound. She can't come here on Sunday mornings, but she's forced to church. And she said, Pastor, she said, I'm so upset. I said, what are you upset about? What they're doing on the news, what they're doing in our government, how they're fighting amongst each other. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing good is going to happen out of all this mess they're just creating. I said, sister, why are you worried about what man's doing? So why do you turn that thing off? Find a good preacher or something on there. Or even find a good movie that's better than what you're listening to. Find something. But don't listen to what man says is right and wrong and what they're doing to one another, because that's man's ways and they're not God's. And if they're upsetting you, why even think about it? God's got a plan bigger than theirs. So let them do what they're going to do. Don't be upset about what goes on man does. You worry about what God's about to have you do and what you're going to do for Him. If your mind gets set upon God and the things that I'm going to do for Him and get on God's ways, you're going to have a whole lot less struggles in going through this life. If you trust in Him and put your hope and your life in His hands, you're going to have a whole lot less struggles up and down in your life. But as soon as you mind what man thinks and what's going on around you and in your own woes, you're going to have trouble. Woe was me. Woe was me will bring pressure on you quicker than anything. What was me? Just ain't going my way. I tell you, it never went my way. Once or twice, maybe. But don't go my way. Me and God have arguments all the time. He's won every one of them things, too. I just don't do it the way I want to sometimes. That's okay, though. I still get my point across. I'm still going to have my opinion. It may not be right, but I'm going to have it anyway. I'll tell them all about it. Makes me feel a whole lot better. He's probably up there laughing, but it's making me feel a lot better. You know, have a relationship with God like that. Don't be afraid of the one that loves you, is around you, surrounds you, gives you life, and gives you breath. Have a relationship, be open and honest with Him, and tell Him what you're feeling and what you're thinking. He can handle it. He loves you. You're His kid. I'm honest as a child. Man, oh man, kids are honest. Brutally honest. I don't want to know anything about you. I'll put your kid to the side and I'll start talking to him. No. I'll do that, but I ain't going to do that. You find out a lot about you real quick. Because they're going to tell the truth. You're going to be hiding a lot of it. What y'all doing? No matter. And get it out of your kid. Because that's all they know. And that's the way you ought to be with God. And why I hide anything. God, here I am. This is what I am. This is what I'm going through. He knows anyway. Tell Him. Some of you are struggling this morning that some sin maybe in your life got a hold of you. Some of you are struggling with just the fact of going up and down. I'm tired of it. Some of you are struggling with different things. Each one of you is different this morning. Each one of you got your own problem. You look around at each other and each one of you is struggling with something. I mean, none of us is going smooth sailing here. If you are, wait till tomorrow. But the thing about it is, no matter what is going on, it's okay. Because my Father's right here with me, in me and around me. And His plans and His purpose, no matter what struggle I'm going to go through, it's going to come out the other side. I'm going to be better for it.
Yes.
And the worst thing that can happen to me is I die and go to heaven. So I'm out winning all the way around. I won in every circumstance, everything that comes my way, I'm a winner. No matter what it is. Are you a winner this morning? Ask you that question. Or is there something in your life, in your heart, that I haven't asked Jesus to come in here, I haven't asked Him to change my life. And I know I'm struggling with something, and the sin, Pastor, you said it, I'm not free. It keeps sucking me right back in. It keeps pulling me right back. And I'm not free. Because I can't walk off and say, no, I'm not going to do that. But you this morning, this message is for you. You're minding man's ways and it's eating you up. What man says. Or you're struggling with what right and wrong is. You get in the Bible. You go by what it says. Not what I say, not what Bobo says, not what other Bobo says. You go by what God said and you live it. Look, you go to the Bible, you look at what I say. You know, I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm perfect. No. I'm not perfect. I'm a fallible person. I may say something or quote something that might be contrary to your thinking. You need to go look it up in the Bible. Make sure it lines up with what He said. Because the devil will take and twist my words sometimes and make you think I said something that I didn't say or another way. I've had that happen before in your mind. Totally didn't mean it that way. Come out that way. So you line up with whatever I preach or anybody else says on the TV, you line it up with the Bible and you come back to it. And you know what? There's a lot of preachers I listen to all the time, and I'll go back and I'll look at what they say and I really can't find it. There's some big-time TV preachers. And I'll say, well, they just meant something else. I don't cast them aside and throw them away and say they ain't no good. I said, well, they're probably talking about something else, and I'm just looking at it a different way. I give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay? I go back and I check them here. I'll make sure that what he said was, well, that's kind of weird to me. And if it's totally off base and it's totally man's way, I'll say they're wrong. And it's the last time I'll listen to them. You do the same thing. Let's stand with me this morning.